Oh man, people, guess what? I've got to record. I've got to record this yet a third time. The first time I didn't have the sound. The second time I had this piece of hair sticking up like this, and when I watched the playback, I just couldn't take my eyes off of it, and I said nobody's going to be able to watch this, and pay attention to what I'm talking about. So I'm doing it once more, and that's just gosh, how it goes. So anyway, I was working online, and I had the television on C-SPAN because I watch a lot of C-SPAN. And anyway, um, they were talking about going back and forth about abortion. And, one side was talking about, rapes and incest and what a hard time people had when they were raped by a family member. Oh, I'm like, oh, how good. You know what I mean? But at the same time, these people were acting like this was a normal day to day situation. Like, everybody who goes to get an abortion is raped by a family member. How ridiculous. Okay. Anyway, my deal is whatever you feel about abortion, um, you should take the time to learn about the history of Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood was started by a eugenicist named Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger was what I guess you could refer to, a lot of people might call, a white supremacist. That word kind of gets thrown around a lot, like racist and da 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 da. But she was basically a person who felt like people of Western European descent, upper class, were superior and were the robust race, you know, that would make America. I don't want to say that make America great, but that would make a great country, to make a strong country. And so she's the person who started it was a project, it was called the Negro Project. And basically, what that was to really reduce, if not eliminate, the black population in the United States. But she wasn't only after black, she was after Native Americans, Hispanics, Asians, even people of Eastern European descent, people coming from, Romania, Ukraine, um, Lithuania, stuff like that, because to her, well, what she said about black people particularly, she called us the weeds of the earth. So, what do? You get Roundup. And Planned Parenthood was Roundup. Okay? And, it just kind of is weird to me. I'm kind of digressing, but I'm digressing intentionally. Is that I see a lot of melanated people. That's my new word now. Melanated people of color, who are on the side of the same people who promoted slavery, promoted, created every Jim Crow law, uh, who filibustered against the Civil Rights Act of 1964, who had, I'm, all of the presidents that were part of that really bad American terrorist group of that side, these people are all on that same side arguing for rights to control your own body. Well, yes, I can see that, but people have rights over their own body. People have control over their own bodies. No one doesn't have control over their own bodies. You know, when people jump off of the Empire State Building, that's called control of your own body. Uh, when people, you know, go to the Olympics, that's called control of your own body. You know, you have prepared and practiced and worked out and that's control of your own body. But when you have another person's body inside of your body, that's not your body. That's another person's body. And a child is not a. I mean, this is me, okay? I'm not going to say what's what because I didn't write the book. But in terms of my logic, when a child is created, it's created by two people. And so the child is half of the dad and half of the mom. And the female is the vessel. But the child is not an appendage of that body. The child is a separate entity. And so, you can kind of look at it the way you want. But then, it's like, well, you're alive. Your parent let you live. And so you're going to thank thank your lucky stars for being able to live and survive by, clocking out another body. I don't know. Oh boy, it's kind of it is a complicated situation. But, the argument's going to just go back and forth. But in terms of my logic, a child that is in a person's womb is a separate entity. It's not part of a person's body. And so, in a country that's supposedly so sophisticated, like I have Cheeto, because I'm always eating Cheeto sunflower seeds, so that's why my favorite are red. And I'm going to write to them and say, you guys need to take that dye out. But I'm digressing. So, the thing is that when you have another person's body in your body, is that your body? That's not your body. That's somebody else's body. And so you're making a decision about another person's body. But then again, what does the government have to do with that? Why is the government involved in these kind of personal situations? Well, I think it has a lot to do with who's paying for what. Are we paying for the abortions? Can you get a tax write-off, I guess, if you have an abortion? Can the doctors and all that stuff who will have the abortion clinics write them off? I don't really understand why it's so out, in front. But it's something that will be discussed. And I don't know. The thing to me that might be the most important aspect is just understanding the history of Planned Parenthood. And to me, racist people, and I don't like to go around calling people racist because I am so over that racial stuff. It's just so annoying to me. But these are real racist people. Eugenicists, eugenicists. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. They are racially targeting people. They want the United States to be You know, they didn't want all this black people stuff, but see, they needed to build the stuff because they didn't want to get their hands dirty. But anyway, you know, um, it's just, you know, it's kind of just what to think. You tell me. I don't know. I think that Planned Parenthood is, it's still a eugenicist place because it seems to be mostly in low income areas. I'm not going to say low income and black. That really bothers me when they put blacks in the same category with low income and poor people and blah blah blah. One has nothing to do with the other. But I will say this: understanding and researching on your own. Don't listen to me, don't take it from me. I have nothing to say. The history of Planned Parenthood is something everyone should take time. It won't take you more than 15 minutes to learn what went behind that and how abortion, the role of abortions in the United States, okay, why it exists. Because in a sophisticated country like the United, a sophisticated, industrialized, supposedly the number one industrialized country, abortion should not be even, not even considered as a form of birth control. We have birth control all day long. You know what I'm saying? So, how is abortion? You see what I'm saying? You gotta really think about this. This is deep. You gotta think about it. This is some political stuff. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, I gotta go because I've been just babbling. I just babble too much. I should have some notes, some cue cards or something. But anyway, there you go. I hope you have some input and some feedback for me. I would just love to hear from you. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.